Welcome back, anybody. You're watching 2AG Plays Dysfunctional Systems, Episode 1, Learning to Manage Chaos. I almost said Yuma to the Ethereal right there. That's the thing that I usually say. Okay, so we got two new codex entries. Oh my goodness. Wow. Ferdia is a major society on S8659541. Sul is one of the three most significant. You know what? Actually, no. I'll read it. Just you know what? It is one of the three most significant societies on said world, marked by its rich culture and extreme aggressiveness. It's responsible for many of Sul's major works of art, literature, and music, while at the same time its army and navy are unrivaled by any other. It is a direct democracy, emphasizing fairness and power of the individual. Ferdia's wars have been numerous and frequent, but within the last 2 centuries, developments in aeronautics made by other major societies, Gabriel and Rosare, as well as a fair number of truces, have largely put an end to this behavior. Fortunately, they display an unusual degree of boldness. This has, in the past, caused them to ignore treaties and threats of technological superiority in order to go to war. Interestingly, despite their history of aggression, Ferdia has never tried to expand past the borders of its continent, nor has it created any colonies in foreign lands. Regardless of colonialism, many of the mediations on Sul have concerned Ferdia's actions. Ferdia has always been extraordinarily territorial and protective of its people. This is due to the location on which they settled, on one of the few fertile lands of Sul. The land was and is quite desirable naturally. See, I guess, that. And Ferdia was frequently accosted by other tribes and nations attempting to claim this territory. Necessity led them to be a very strong people, and the familiar helpfulness of its society bore a friendly nationalistic culture. They grew a rich appreciation for their history, which led to some of their later aggressive mannerisms. Ferdians never forget the slights made against their people, and after violently expanding its borders to scare off enemies, it spent much of its time warring the nations that had assaulted them in the past. To date, Ferdia is believed to have initiated 251 wars, and participated in 253. Hence, it has been stereotyped as a nation of violent roughhousing. While true to a point, they tend to be incredibly defensive and quick-tempered. Reports indicate that the Ferdians are generally quite jovial and creative. They're also the least discriminatory nation on Sul. An expression of theirs is that they hate everyone equally. But the truth is that they're surprisingly open to immigration and cultural diversity. It seems that they only ever take issue with the countries themselves rather than the country's people. Leaders, be advised, as welcoming and charismatic as they are, do not fall prey to their influence. Remember that war is severely chaotic. Furthermore, while the military action has calmed down recently, tensions are always high when it comes to Verdian relations with other societies. Currently, Verdia has been focusing on artistic endeavors and has adopted a somewhat isolationist doctrine. Its military is constantly honed, but has not been deployed in approximately 50 Sol years. Wow. Okay, fusion bomb time. This entry concerns fusion weapons, which are initiated by fission. For pure fusion weapons, see the entry on True Fusion. Fusion bombs are also known as nukes, are highly destructive weapons fueled primarily by nuclear fusion. Their power ranges anywhere from obliterating cities to entire countries, all in a few minutes. Due to this, their possession is often quite efficient in quickly silencing opposition. Stability is often reached, however, when opposing or multiple societies possess the weapons. Mutually assured destruction tends to prevent societies from risking angering one another. Fusion bombs are also notable for their fallout, which often takes several decades to dissipate. To expound, fallout is the result of a nuclear weapon's detonation, fission or fusion, on an area. Since the resulting explosion is incredibly radioactive, its effects will linger long after the initial shock has passed, as the radiation will stick to the surrounding life and environment. Radiation sickness, symptoms, fevers, disorientation, fatigue, headaches, hair loss, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, internal bleeding, increased risk of cancer, and mutations in survivors' children are all results of a nuclear weapons fallout. Although most systems refer to these weapons as a product of fusion, it is not entirely true. While fusion is certainly part of the process, the reaction must first be started using nuclear fission, an atomic nucleus, often that of uranium, splitting. The reason it is usually begun with fission is due to the incredible energy and pressure Required for nuclear fusion. Most societies, fission is the only method available for producing the required energies. For proper level of energy is reached, the nuclear fuel, often hydrogen, will begin to fuse with itself to produce a new element, often helium. This reaction is significantly more destructive than that of fission, to the point that fission bombs are usually quickly declared obsolete once fusion is explored. The fission stage of these weapons is the primary contributor to the radioactive byproducts left by the detonation. I was just randomly scrolling the wheel and I guess it happened. Okay, well, codex is done. Certainly, this is amazing. I smile pleasantly in admiration of the technology, and I also need to take a drink. Sorry. Jeez. I feel like it was a bad idea to record another parts because my voice is already going for some reason. Most unfortunately, my smile is very, very temporary. As it turns out, the fusion bomb is incredibly horrible. It is a weapon that will detonate and destroy everything in a very large radius with a disturbing rapidity. In its wake is a kind of miasma so powerful that it sticks to a place for several decades before dissipating. It causes sickness to those who did not die and greatly increases the chance of cancer and mutations in the children of survivors. Once again, I am fronted by the sense of unreality that has persisted since my induction into the Mediatorum. It's not even something you would read about in storybooks. This is not a thing one can imagine. Why would you kill somebody else? Why would you kill hundreds, thousands, millions? What's more, with such effects? What does that accomplish? They said I would not understand it for a long time, that it would be covered later on in my schooling, that until then I would not be allowed to mediate wars. You do understand this now, though. It may go down in a matter of hours. What will happen if I remain in this foolish ignorance of mine? My heart thumps and my stomach twists. I put my hand over my mouth and squeeze my eyes shut. I'm not the type to freak out, but I'm freaking out a lot today. Winter. Come on, calm down. We'll make it through this, and you'll be better for it, okay? I close my codex and look at Cyrus, who has placed his hands on my shoulders. The gesture does not help. For some reason, it makes me feel worse. My heart tightens, and tears escape from my lids. I feel the same feeling that comes when I imagine how it would be if my dad were to die, only the feeling is much more distorted and disgusting. I answer Cyrus with a warbling voice as my emotions are in tatters. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't understand. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Winter, come on, hey, you aren't stupid, you're a smart girl. I am. I'm incredibly stupid, you know it. You're just a bit hard-headed, okay? You're young, Winter, and you're strong, too. You're strong, Winter. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I raise my head and look at his face. Through my tears, I can see that Cyrus's cheeks are more flushed than my own. He jumps a little, as if he was startled, and hugs my head to his chest. OTB. His heart is beating very fast, and I clutch the bottom of his shirt. When he speaks, his voice reverberates through his body in a powerful way, so powerful that I even feel a little more confident. We will not fail. I lift my head and look at him again. He shivers and looks from me to the fountain. I'll make sure of it. But only if you shape up. I'm terrified. I know. Okay. I'm just... Let's finish it. Let's finish this up, alright? Push away from him and wipe my eyes and cheeks. I feel as though this is too much for me to take. It's hard to have faith in Cyrus. The further I go down the path of a mediator, the harder it is to have faith in anything. Still, if I feel this is so wrong, then I ought to stop it, right? I should stop this all from happening. I should stop this war, plainly and simply. I steel myself and stare directly into Cyrus's eyes, sure to convey my conviction. Sir. Yes? I'm confident that we will succeed here too. I'll also make sure that we will not fail. The mindset is good, Winter Harrison. Hold on to it. It's easy to lose. Alright, let's go. Okay. Alright, let's kill the president. My soul decides to I feel like this is not the thing to be laughing at, but it's so ridiculous that I can't help but laughing. My soul decides to flee from my chest. What? What? That's the obvious course of action. That isn't... No, it's not. It's the least obvious thing. Oh, then what is the most? Talk to him? Convince him that he shouldn't do the thing he wants to do? Winter, we don't have the time for diplomacy. What? Mediation is all about diplomacy. No, it isn't. I shouldn't even have to tell you that. Mediators are simply neutral parties that enter worlds with problems, assess the situation, and solve the issues by whatever means necessary. You really are scum. What? I look him in the eye, nearly snarling. What is it, sir? You think I'm deaf? Every student knows how you handle things. That's right, people talk about you. Everyone knows that you're murderous and cold. Ugh. And don't talk to me like I'm that stupid. I remember what they said at orientation. I know that setting existence to balance is totally important. I know how needed it is, but I thought we were more heroic than that, and I can't believe that I felt confident because of you. Do you even hear yourself? What is necessary? We shouldn't lower ourselves to that barbaric level. I'm really starting to tire of your lip, Harrison. Now listen here. Many in Brighton do not support aggression against Gabriel, I've heard. It's only natural. War is a terrible thing. Furthermore, while their poverty extends far, it can be argued that this situation is for the best. Barnaby does not see that, though. He sees his own solution as the only solution. The people do not side with him. That is at least one issue that need be addressed. They must support him. They must feel that his decision is right. So I will kill him. In doing so, the blame should be placed upon Gabriel, and it should be clear that to the populace they have an enemy to fight. What is he saying? Was all that talk before to prepare me to accept this evil? To prepare me for these calculated deaths? You're not just asking me to support killing a man, are you? You're not going to allow a nuclear bomb to be launched as well. Are you insane? I can't sit by and allow that. You've underestimated the plight of these people. For Barnaby, who has no real power, to wrest it for himself in such a dramatic fashion suggests that he is not willing to listen to reason. If we had longer than 4 hours, then it would have perhaps been possible to change his mind. But like this, just forget it. That nuke will be launched. All we can do is unite these people before they go to war. We can still bring this nation into order. Order? Does that bother you? Stability is paramount, Winter. Arg! So cool your head. Think about this logically already. Being a mediator isn't a thing of emotion. That's... What? That's only your opinion, you're only one person. Don't act as though you know anything. I don't know a lot, but I do know... But what I do know is that murder is the worst thing a person can do. So horrible and disgusting and terrible that we don't even write about it, and it never happens. What, you want to rebel against me again? I don't know. I don't know if I should, because you're kind of right. It doesn't look like it. They're so tainted by their troubles that it is doubtful I could convince the president to stop this. Killing him instead, though? Letting the nuke go off too? Could I even forgive myself for that? Yet we probably don't have very much time. From what I read and what I've heard, it seems that weapon can be released very easily, very, very soon. Winter. Blast, I need more information. Are you saying that preventing the launch of war is impossible? I mentioned that before. With luck, it won't be. With the president gone, the only remaining leader being a backup, there may at least be a delay on the bomb, which would give us more time to attempt other plans. The death of the president could also lead to Gabriel taking Brighton much more seriously, since it signals a dangerous level of civil unrest. In which case, Gabriel would probably unleash this nation completely before they even had the chance to launch the nuke. Alternatively, there's also a small chance, a very small chance, that Gabriel will give in to Barnaby's demands. In the likely case that none of these possibilities come to pass, however, we can still expect the relations between Gabriel and Brighton to proceed much differently from now on. Brighton citizens will believe that Gabriel has a stranglehold on them so complete that they can kill the president in less than an hour after a threat of aggression. Some will be in fear to rebel against such power, but many will be emboldened in the belief that Gabriel has gone too far. What's more, once that bomb has gone off, the citizens won't be afraid for much longer. The fusion bomb holds unprecedented power here. Nobody understands it, not even Brighton. It could separate these two muddled nations and produce a new order. As an added bonus, once they see its power and grow to fear it, it's probable this world will never see a nuclear weapon launched again. If Barnaby were to launch it now without his nation's consent, the people would condemn him as a tyrant. It could lead to both a civil war and an international one. We need to make him a martyr, a hero in death. He will be a sacrificial symbol of right and loyalty, and the people will follow him posthumously. Gracious, he seems so sure of himself. Would this really be for the best? Would this bring about order? What should I do? You're... Okay, save, right here. Hey! Hey! I think it's been... I think... I do quite... Actually, wait a moment. I do quite believe that this part may have gone on for enough time. I'm probably horribly incorrect with my assessment of the amount of time that has passed since I began. But, yeah, no, my voice is kind of weird, I think. Plus, I feel like this is a good stopping point. You can give me your opinions. Although it's going to be 2 days from now when I'm recording. Why is it that on this side it does that, but over here it doesn't? Interesting. Anyways, see you in the next parts where... You know what, I'm probably going to follow Cyrus, actually. So, spoiler alert, we're choosing follow Cyrus. See you in the next part. Bye.